Yeah, whatever. Hey. Alright, so after the first video of last week, I needed to do an update. And I knew I said I was going to do one in a few weeks after I'd used these, but I got such an overwhelming response and questions and comments about these Capri wrenches that I thought I would do an intermediate update to answer some of the questions, address some of the comments, and also do a comparison in the short term. So I will be doing another video in a few weeks after I've used these more, but I felt like there were some things that I could address in the short term. So I'm going to do a comparison here. This obviously says Husky on it. It's the same thing as Gear Wrench. It's sold everywhere else as Gear Wrench. At Home Depot, these are sold as Husky. Zero offset, non-reversible ratcheting wrenches. I'm just going to refer to it as Gear Wrench. They're both Apex Tool Group. Like I say, at Home Depot they're Husky, everywhere else they're called Gear Wrench. So I'm just going to call it Gear Wrench. And obviously these are the Capri ratcheting wrenches, 100-tooth ratcheting wrenches. The video I did last week. You all saw it, loved it, hated it. You all reacted. So basic differences right off the bat. Obviously 72 teeth on the Gear Wrench, 100 teeth on the Capri. I will say this though, by way of comparison, the question becomes, what is it you're getting for your money? Because if you go to buy a set of 12 gear wrenches, like say the metric set 8 through 19 on Amazon of the gear wrench, you pay about 70 bucks. If you buy the comparable set, this set, the Capri set, they're about 110. So you're paying $40 more. And the question becomes, well, what is it you're getting for your money? Now, I wanted to do a comparison between these Capri ratcheting wrenches and like a Matco set, because I thought there were a lot of similarities. And the price point on the Matco set is considerably higher than on the Capri, but I couldn't get one in time. Tried to get one off of eBay so I could do a comparison. So you're just going to have to settle for this comparison. So I know right off the bat, yes, the Capri set you do pay considerably more. So that being said, what is it you're getting for your money? Well, I took a caliper and a micrometer and I went through both of these wrenches, these 3/4 inch wrenches, and I also did it with several others from the sets. And I found some interesting things. So 72 teeth, 100 teeth, obviously these are a lot smoother. The Capris are just considerably smoother across the board. The back drag on them is like practically non-existent. It really is. 12-point wave drive, 12-point, they don't call it wave drive, but it's where it grips on the flats of the fasteners rather than the corner. That's the same. Okay, there's where some similarities end. You look at the reveal here around the gear wrench, and I looked at it and I measured it with a caliper and I thought, okay, the gear wrench is actually less through here. The reading is less, so it's lower profile. In theory, it's going to fit into tighter places. Well, then I measured it on the other side and I measured it on the top, and what I found was, and this speaks to what I'm really going to talk about a lot, is manufacturing consistency. On the gear wrench, it's not concentrically milled. There was I think 4/10 of a millimeter on some of them, up to 4 or 5/10 of a millimeter difference from side to side, and the top reading was way off anyway, so they're not concentrically milled out. On the Capri, very, very consistent all the way around, well within every single one of them I checked. And I checked the larger sizes too over in the SAE set all the way up to 1 inch. They're always well within 1/10 of a millimeter all the way around. So dimensionally, they might not in certain spots be quite as thin through here as the gear wrench, but they are very consistent the way that they're milled out. And that continues on. full disclosure, I'm going to be getting another camera at the end of this week, and one of the reasons I wanted to get another camera was I wanted to do a better job with some of these comparisons, getting you guys tighter shots. But the flat surfaces, I'll flip it around here to the open end briefly. The flats on the Capris are actually flat. On the gear wrench, it's inconsistent. Some of the edges are more relieved, which I could see being a plus in some respects. But again, the consistency in manufacturing of the Capris, they are consistent. Country of origin, Taiwan for the Capri. China now for the gear wrench. The gear wrench used to be made in Taiwan, and those are actually the more desirable gear wrench products, are the ones made in Taiwan. Now these ratcheting wrenches are made in China. These Capris, wouldn't you know it, they're made in Taiwan. And there's been speculation about who the actual manufacturer of these is. I believe it's Infar, and if that is the case, that's a good thing. Infar is a very respected name. I actually see my video up here about the channel lock combination wrenches. Those are manufactured by Infar. So I suspect, and a lot of other people are drawing the same conclusion, that these Capris are manufactured by Infar. We'll talk about dimensionally here. The Capris are lower profile. I think I don't know if you could pick it up there, but they're thinner in that dimension by 1 millimeter. It was exactly 1 millimeter. Also, here's the Capri. Sorry, live to air here, folks. Well, they're not going to cooperate. There you can see. The Capri on the left, the gear wrench on the right. Dimensionally, they're thinner, and they're consistently thinner across the board. Consistency in manufacturing, the tolerances. Here's something on the beam of the Capris. The corners are a bit sharper on the Capris than they are on the gear wrench. So I kind of thought initially, well, that's a plus for the gear wrench, because people kind of like these shoulders to be more rounded, easier on your hands. Well, what I found was, when looking through the gear wrenches, again, they were inconsistent. Not all of the corners were rounded. Like this corner right now, I don't know if you can pick it up from the camera, but the left corner here is noticeably sharper than the right corner. The Capris, consistent the whole way around. The whole way around. And every single one I checked, it was the same thing. The beam was very, very consistent. We already know about the open end V-groove. V-groove with the teeth on the Capri tools. The gear wrenches are not that, they're just smooth. And I know people are going to have everybody's got an opinion about that, but I like having the option of the V-groove. And this is one thing I'll kind of correct myself on. I actually asked you guys for feedback, and when I made the video last week, I said I think these are the Capris are the only ones that offer V-groove and the teeth, or the traction grooves, on a ratcheting wrench. Well, that is not the case. People pointed out to me right off the bat that SKX frames offer that, and the significance of that is that they have more than 100 positions on the ratcheting end of those SKs. So I was incorrect, and I think I actually knew that at one point about the SKs, but wouldn't you know it, when I went to make the video, I forgot. People pointed that out about, I think Snap-on, they said, has an option with that. There were a bunch of different companies brought up, but two that were brought up were particularly interesting because of the country of manufacture, and that was, number one was Sunex, and number two was Carlisle by Napa. And both of those, it's been confirmed, are made by Infar. Now on the Carlisle, The ratcheting end on the Carlisles is 90 teeth. Again, on the Capris it's 100, but the open end on the Carlisle does not have V-groove. It's not V-notch, but it does have the teeth. On the Sun-X, the open end looks almost identical to these Capri wrenches, but the ratcheting end is, again, 72 teeth, and it is a universal ratcheting end rather than a 12-point ratcheting end, which everybody's going to have their own preferences on that. So those are some of the basic differences between the gear wrench and the Capri. The Capri, just again, a lot more consistent in manufacturing, a lot tighter tolerances from what I can tell, and they're a superior design from what I can tell. 100 teeth, 72 teeth, that nod goes to the Capris, and the back drag, they're just smooth. And this is a prime example of when all I owned was the gear wrench. I just didn't know any better. These are a good budget set of ratcheting wrenches. I think these are a way better option than something you'd get at Harbor Freight, and I have looked at those ones from Harbor Freight, by the way, but I just think these are a considerably better option. But you are getting what you pay for with the Capri. You're getting more for paying more. The open end, that goes to the Capri. The ratcheting end, that goes to Capri. The consistency in manufacturing and the tighter tolerances, that goes to Capri. I think we can reasonably infer that you're just going to get better quality across the board based on what I'm seeing. These are a good budget option. These are an option that legitimately competes with tool truck brands. So I'm going to set that gear wrench to the side. And in closing, I'll say, look, if you're going to pay, there's a set of Matco wrenches out there, the SAE set, comparable to the set of Capris that I have, the 12-piece SAE set. For Matco, you have to piece it together with an 8-piece set and a 4-piece set to get all the same sizes, and those are $260 off of the Matco truck. If you order the Capri SAE set from Amazon, it runs about 150 bucks. So it's considerably cheaper. It's the same country of manufacture. You're getting more on the ratcheting end because the Matcos, again, are 72. The Capris are 100. I think you're getting at least equal quality. No, you're not going to have the convenience of a Matco truck coming around every week, but with the Capris, the way the warranty works is, as long as you're not like using this thing as a hammer or something stupid like that, they're going to warranty it, and usually they ship it out same day. So I don't know. I mean, I guess it's a little bit less convenient than just walking out when the Matco guy gets there every week, but if you're going to have to wait for a week anyway, it seems to me like the Capris would get there within that amount of time. So are these a snap-on killer or something like that? No, I'm not going to go out and say something drastic like that, but I think these compare favorably to a lot of the tool truck brands. If you look at the feature set with the V-groove, the traction grooves on the open end, the 100-tooth ratcheting, they're tough to beat. And the Carlisle set, the comparable Carlisle set, Hard Knocks did a video up here, a deal alert on those. Those are regularly, for that 12-piece set, are regularly $200. You compare them to this metric set on Amazon, they're about 150 bucks. Links in the description. Check them out. So I'll just say that. I'll end it there. Check out onlinetoolvendors.com. Check out my Amazon links in the description. Helps me out, helps the channel out. I just wanted to do this update, throw this up. If you guys have any other comments, questions, concerns, leave them in the comment section, and I'll try to get to them. I'm going to do a complete review of these and kind of a wrap up on these wrench sets, these Capri wrench sets, in a few weeks after I have even more of an opportunity to use them. But so far, as far as I'm concerned, these are a slam dunk. All right, ta-ta for now.